What's going on, my sensational sinners? Welcome to Sin Nation. I hope you guys have been staying out of trouble. Well, as for me, you know what they say, what's life without a little sin? And today we're going to be discussing one of the biggest sinners of them all. Please do not forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and become a sensational sinner. Now on this channel, this is going to be a reaction video, and when we react, we drink wine. So please grab your wine, your water, your Coke, your gin, whatever you want, okay, while we react. And so on this channel, we're going to be reacting to a Chris Watts video. And I know that I know the case, maybe majority of the world knows the case, but sometimes I will post content and it's some people that have not heard of this case. So today we're going to be reacting to JCS video, Criminal Psychology, and they broke down the Chris Watts case into, I think it's 3 to 4 parts. So we're going to be watching it from the JCS channel, and we're going to be watching part one, and they're pretty much going to be doing like an overall synopsis for. I just want to rewatch it, but it's for people that I guess that's not familiar with the case. But Chris Watts pretty much annihilated his whole family, his pregnant wife and his 2 daughters. So without further ado, you guys, we're going to be reacting to their video. Thank you. Shout out to the channel for the content, and let's get right on into it.
Nicole Atkinson, the best friend of Shannon Watts. She had arranged to drive Shannon into town that same day for a pregnancy checkup, but there was no answer when she knocked at the door, nor any response to her text messages or phone calls. After noticing her shoes were still at the front door, she became concerned and called 911.
Nicole?
Yes.
Okay. What's going on?
So my friend, we were out of town.
So that is the pregnant wife friend. That is Shanann's friend. Her friend is missing. She missed her doctor's appointment. So she's trying to figure out what's going on. I mean, everybody needs a friend like Nicole, okay?
A business trip this weekend.
All right.
And I dropped her off at 2 o'clock this morning. She's 15 weeks pregnant. She wasn't feeling well. And she had a doctor's appointment this morning at 9. And I told her to let me know if she needed me to take her. She's got 2 little girls. I called, I texted. Her car's in the garage. Her shoes she wears every single day right at the front door.
How you doing? You seen your neighbors today? No? Okay.
That's neighbor Nate. Listen, everybody needs a nosy neighbor like Nate, because he pretty much, him and friend Nicole pretty much cracked this case wide open, okay?
What's Chris's phone number?
Chris's phone number is...
Hey, Chris, Officer Coonrod for the police department. Pretty good. So, do you have any idea where your wife is? Right. Well, my concern is her car's here. They're saying she is diabetic. I don't want her... If she's upstairs and can't respond. Okay. About how far out are you? Okay. All right. He said like 5 minutes.
It's not a sure sign of guilty conduct, yet the fact that Chris made the officer wait for his return would have most likely alerted some minor suspicion. In normal circumstances, a husband receiving a call from the police saying they were concerned about the safety of their pregnant wife and children, in most cases, would have given them permission to immediately kick the door down. It's a truly somber awareness to know that the man stepping out of the car had only a very short time ago dumped his infant daughter's bodies into an oil tank and buried his pregnant wife in a shallow grave.
Scott, how you doing? How's it going?
Mind you, before he gets out of, when he gets out of the car, he goes to the passenger side. So it's clear that he was trying to delay.
So this is the only vehicle she would have? Only one that she would drive? Okay.
The familiar routine for anyone checking for someone's presence inside a house, whether it be an emergency or otherwise, is to immediately call out to them for instantaneous reassurance.
Right.
Chris remains silent, but instead feels the need to examine his wife's car before subtly sneaking through the internal garage door. He then disappears for 1 minute and 7 seconds before letting the neighbors and police officer inside. Only Chris will know what he carried out during that time period, but it's safe to assume that his curious behavior was not going unnoticed, made evident by the unsettled gaze of Nicole as he opens the door.
Oh yeah, she's mad. Nicole is mad. Every time I see this part and I see her face, oh, she was clearly upset. But for me, I would like I know that they said that a lot of the police officers had to go through therapy and stuff after dealing with this case. But I want to know, y'all let me know if they have some police officers interviews out there, because I haven't been able to find any. I want to know this officer right here. I want to know what was he thinking when Chris got out of the car. Before Chris even, opened the car door, he's checking Shanae's car for what reason?
Mind if I come in, Chris?
There were multiple key moments captured from inside the house, which may not have been noticed immediately by the officer, but would have no doubt been gathered by forensics upon further investigation. The most overt peculiarity was Chris's interaction with his phone. The guise of his thumb movement would have given the impression he was texting someone, which would have seemed very peculiar, as the normal response would be to frantically call people rather than text given the circumstances. Hindsight gives us a clearer picture of Chris's introversion, which is that he was most likely using his phone to avoid eye contact and progressive dialogue with the officer.
What time do you leave?
Exactly. He's not calling, he's texting, and this house is beautiful, by the way. I will always say this. Chris did not deserve Shanann. Shanann had this house beautifully decorated. She made that house a home like a wife should. And Chris doesn't have any urgency at all. He's definitely looking down like the low self-esteem beta man he is.
Hey.
What time to leave there?
No, here.
Usually between 5:30 and 6.
All right. You want Shannon here then?
Yes.
And he looks like he doesn't even want to answer any of the questions. He's very short. Then he's moving. He's rocking from side to side. You can clearly tell that he's nervous about something. Look at
She
him.
usually watch the kids, or you have daycare watch them? Or?
She usually watches the kids at high school.
Okay. You guys have any kind of issues, marital issues, or?
We're going through separation.
You are? And how's that going?
It's going
Civil for the most part, or?
Mind you, Shanann was not aware of no separation that they were going through. Chris just told his mistress that months ago, and Shanann had no clue, and the family had no clue at all. Talking about he's going. And was that a laugh? Was that a chuckle? I don't know. I'm trying to see if I missed anything. That looked like a chuckle to me. Let me see.
For the most part, or?
He looked down and smiled.
Additionally, we are presented with the subtle cues of Chris's forethought cover story, being that his wife simply ran off with the kids after a breakdown in the marriage.
all the girls' blankets are gone.
It still amazes me how Chris just goes through the house. He already know the blankets was gone. He already knew Shanann's ring was left in the room, but he's just calling out that stuff because it's obvious. The police are going to call it out later, but he's trying to make it seem like he's helping them out.
Their blanket they sleep with, they don't leave anywhere without them.
Good.
The ring. He walks up there, mouth balled up like a child. Look, mommy, here's the ring. This is crazy. He knows that was there the whole time.
The rest of Chris's conduct could be analyzed and dissected in various ways, and it would be easy to pick at certain oddities in body language and link them with signs of guilt. Yet, without the hindsight we have now, his behavior could just as easily be linked with an innocent man who is understandably concerned and frantic over the disappearance of his family. His very conservant neighbor, however, had the perceptual advantage of knowing Chris on a semi-personal level, and could analyze his kinesics in a far more accurate manner than the police officer.
You just want to go talk to him? I'm going to get his info real quick. No.
Even neighbor Nate was able to notice that Chris was not acting right. He's fidgeting. He's moving. It's just so crazy, like, seeing all of this years later. I want to see an interview with Nate. Do you guys know if there's an interview out there with Nate? Like, it's crazy how the police officers and Nate has been quiet. I have not been able to find any interviews.
Right.
To be completely honest with you, my wife and I were kind of wondering when she was on vacation if something happened, because I've heard them full out screaming at each other at the top of their lungs, and it gets crazy.
Is it? And that's pretty recently?
Yeah.
This is crazy how they say Chris is so quiet. He's, such a non-troublemaking guy, but Nate caught him and Shanann hollering, screaming back and forth, and he said he gets crazy. He didn't say they get crazy. He said they were hollering back and forth to the top of their lungs, and he gets crazy. Okay?
But worried. He looks like he's trying to cover his tracks. He's normally quiet, real subdued. He's over here telling you 3 times what he took out, what he did. He's very, he never talks. So the fact that he's over here blabbing his mouth makes me kind of suspicious.
This was just after the moment he had shown both Chris and the officer his surveillance footage of that same morning, capturing only Chris leaving the house after loading multiple unidentified things into his truck.
Yeah, we can pick up cars coming this way. I get anything coming this way and making this turn. So, and usually at night I pick up the cars going to your turn. So, unless they pull right here to put out the car or lock it out.
Chris is not listening to a damn thing this man is saying. He looks like he's trying to check his pockets for his phone or something so he can text his mistress or something. He's not listening to nothing he's saying.
Although not fully incriminating, as Shannon and the kids could have left through the back entrance, this was an extremely detrimental piece of evidence and would have no doubt been extolled by forensics and made Chris an immediate prime suspect. The following day, Chris, for some bizarre reason, agreed to be interviewed by 2 separate news stations where he came across as extremely unimpassioned and detached from the alarming nature of the situation.
Like, when I got home yesterday, it was like a ghost town. Like, she wasn't here. Kids weren't here.
Oh, it definitely was a ghost town thanks to your doing.
I have no idea, like, where they went. And right now, you got K9 units, the sheriff's department. Everybody's, like, they're doing their best right now to figure out, like, if they can get a scent. If she wasn't here, like, where did she go? Like, once I got here, it was like, all right.
And then this is totally off subject, but for me, it's like, sometimes you see handsome guys and you can't even deny that they're attractive. But just to hear, that Chris is getting play in prison, women is calling him, women is writing him like he's some type of sex symbol, it just behooves me. It behooves me that he think that he became bigger than the program and he became bigger than the marriage. Like, all of a sudden you gain muscles and you think you just that guy. You go out, you think you're better than Shanann, and you go find you a mistress to where you feel like you need to rise above it. And it's like, humble yourself. It's like he looks a mess. And for me, looking at him just boils my blood, because it's like, how dare you think that because you gained a few muscles, you were bigger than the marriage and that you're so much better and you deserve to have a mistress and a whole new life.
Who can I call? I called her 3 times, texted her about 3 times just to say, what's going on? Like, if she's vanished, like, I want her back so bad. I want those kids back so bad. Right now, I don't even want to just, like, throw anything out there. Like, I hope that she's somewhere safe right now and with the kids. Last night, I wanted that knock on the door. I wanted to see those kids run in, just barrel rush me and just give me a hug.
So
and knock me on the
stupid.
ground. That's why last night was just horrible. I couldn't do it. I just...
Smiling. Look at that smile. Look at him smiling. And the thing that, Shanann's mom told him not to do the interview and he still listened. And she said she's happy that Chris didn't listen to her and went on and did the interview, because he's exposing himself right now.
I'm hoping that somebody sees something or somebody knows something and comes forward. Shanann, Bella, Celeste, if you're out there, just come back. Like, if somebody has her, just please bring her back. I need to see everybody.
And to think that this man was able to look in the camera and lie, like, in my opinion, Chris is a psychopath. I'm sorry. And just look how he closes his eyes. He's talking, but he's closing his eyes. That's when you know it's not truthful.
To see everybody again. This house is not complete without anybody here. Please bring her back.
This could have been construed as shock trauma, where a person will turn numb and retreat into themselves as a means of escape. Yet the viewers watching this live from home were probably thinking what we as the retrospective audience already know. He was called in for questioning 4 hours later.
Let's get into the interrogation, okay? See, this is the footage that's going to be kind of new to me because I've seen clips, but I haven't got into the little interrogation now.
Alright, let's do this. Somebody saw something. Somebody knows where these kids are. And I keep saying kids, I'm sorry. The kids in your life. I know you're going through a lot.
Wow, when you see, okay, so that's crazy how the detective gets into there and he said, I'm sorry I keep saying these kids. I know it's your kids and your wife. So even the detective is, I guess he's apologizing because he wants to say, I guess, their name, but he's saying these kids. Chris' arms is folded up, okay?
I'm not going to keep you here all night. Just tell me exactly what you remember and I'll take notes about where we can go.
Alright. So, this 1:48 a.m.
Let me switch chairs. Because when they come knocking,
Oh, he putting him in a corner.
One of the oldest and most commonly used techniques is for the interrogator to sit between the door and the suspect. This is for the purpose of heightening the feelings of isolation and dependence. It's an indirect subliminal message, letting Chris know that the only way out of that room is through the detective. It's an excellent tool for stripping away confidence, thus increasing the telling signs and body language when information is fabricated.
Mind you, Chris doesn't have much confidence anyway. So it doesn't take much to strip at his little confidence. And look at him folding his arm again. The officer looks like he's kind of like done with him. The officer knows what's up.
4 a.m. That's when my alarm goes off for work. And I'm just get dressed, brush my teeth, everything I do upstairs.
Okay.
About 4:15, that's when I get back, slide right into bed next to her, and start having a conversation with her about having the house up for sale.
And I noticed he said, brushing my teeth, do everything I do upstairs. Did he not brush his teeth upstairs where the bathroom was that day? Because why did you have to specify that upstairs? Why you couldn't just say, I brush my teeth and say your routine? Why you have to say you did it upstairs? So that makes me feel like he didn't do it upstairs. He did it downstairs. That's just me.
Actually proceeding with the separation. Okay. And obviously it gets pretty emotional, like we're talking about, we felt this connection was there, like falling out of love, and trying to stay together, maybe just for the kids' sake, but we're realizing that doing like our homework, it's not, most of the time that's not going to work.
Yeah.
Gets ready for work, goes to work, receives call from police, returns home. And see, this is where he gets to lying, saying that him and Shanann had to talk about the separation, but Shanann didn't know about a separation. She didn't mention it to her family, her friends, or anything. So that's where he's fabricating, saying we were talking about the separation. And let me move myself, that way you guys can see it. I thought I moved myself good, but let me move myself here. I wanted you guys to see the subtitles. Let me move here. Right. But it was no separation. Chris is lying.
So when I got home, I opened the garage door and we went inside the house and looked everywhere. Shanann, Bella, and Celeste, nowhere to be found. Shannann's wedding ring's on her nightstand, her phone's still on the couch, her purse is still there, medicine for the kids is still there, the car seat is still there, and there's no sign of them anywhere.
Okay.
I hope when he's saying this, he sounds how stupid it is. The car's still there, the medicine's still there, purse still there, phone still there, but the kids and wife is missing. I hope he knows how stupid that sounds. So it says K9 unit news show up, police takes information, he goes to bed at 10, doesn't sleep until 2. He forgot to add that he was on the phone with his mistress for hours that day.
I was just hoping that, I left all the lights on in the house, I was hoping that I'd get a knock on the door. But
Yeah,
nothing happened. Yeah, but nothing happened.
What do you think happened?
At first, I really thought maybe she was just at somebody's house, just decompressing.
Just blowing off steam?
Yeah. But after today, like with the onslaught of all the cars, all the police cars, all the news, all the K9 units, it's making me lean the other direction about someone took her.
Okay.
But if someone took her, it would have to have been someone she knew. Because
It was someone she knew, you. Talking about it had to be somebody she knew. I'm starting to lean towards the other direction. And listen, the officer is just quiet. He's taking it in and he's listening. They call this, I guess, the introspective provocation. No, the introspective provocation. Truthful, short, direct, untruthful, long, and detailed. Wow. So that's amazing that when they're truthful, they're short and direct. And that's crazy. I was saying that about Chris at the beginning when the police was asking him questions when they was at the house. He was so short. But untruthful, see how he gets into the interrogation room and now his characteristics are showing untruthful where he's long and detailed, doing too much talking.
There's no sign of anything like being disturbed, broken. Mm-hmm. But like that's the way I'm leaning now. At first I thought for real she was just decompressing somewhere. I thought she was safe, even though everything in the house was left there. But now it's just after the day with the news crews and everything, it feels more the other direction.
He's such a dummy. He just said everything in the house was left there, but now that the news crews is there, now he's worried. Now that the news crews is there, now that everything else is in the house though.
And it's freaking me out. On that night, I woke up early that morning, I told her like the disconnection it's there, like it's not going away. Like the connection we had in the beginning, it's not there anymore. It's like I don't feel like the love we have is there anymore.
Well, I mean, when you're cheating, the love is not going to be there. I mean, what do you expect when you actually go and cheat? That's a crazy thing to me. I really wish, and I'm going to have to watch the full-on interrogation. I really wish the detective just asked him questions like that. You do realize that, are you cheating, Chris? You do realize when you do cheat and you're taking your attention from somewhere else, the connection's not going to be there, right? Then he's talking with his hands, trying to make himself seem believable.
I don't feel like, if we want to stay together for the kids, I'm not sure if that's going to work. Like, bringing us what you told him? Yes. Okay. Like, having another baby, bring us in this relationship, do you think this is going to work with us being together? Or separation, I think, is going to be the best possible route for us. And that's when, like, all the crying and everything proceeded. And it was very hard just to talk about that. But I needed to do it face to face. Okay. And I needed to see her face, like, while I did it. I couldn't text, phone, whatever. I needed to be face to face.
This is so stupid. I hope Chris knows, and I'm sure he does, even though he's a freaking lunatic. The whole thing just don't sound right. You had to tell your wife that day she's pregnant. She just got in after midnight. It's the middle of the night. You got to go to work. She just came from her trip. The kids are sleeping. And you want to tell her right now, this day, face to face, that, hey, this is not going to work. Let's talk about it. Hey, get up right now. Let's talk about the separation right now. Like, come on now. You know this got to sound stupid.
Be able to see her and know that she was going to be at least reciprocating back to me.
Oh, what did she say?
She said that she wanted to kind of work on it, but if that's the way I was feeling, then she respects that.
Okay.
She respects it.
I'm now on my way home to check on my family. Just because you're worried based on the conversation with Nicole. Had the police contact you by then?
No.
Okay. I arrived. Sorry, go ahead.
But Nicole says she was probably going to call the cops.
Okay. All right. Now, so it sounds like Nicole's pretty worried.
Right.
More worried than you.
Well, so once she couldn't get...
I love it. First confrontation. He said it sounds like Nicole was pretty worried. More worried than you. Okay? And guys, we are 13 minutes into this video. If you guys are still here, you guys are definitely my people. Please do not forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and become a sensational sinner, y'all. But this is getting heated. So this is the first confrontation where he tells him, oh, her friend Nicole was more worried than you. So let's see what's his answer to this.
Anything out of her and nothing was going on in the house, I was like, all right, I gotta go home.
The sharp and sudden change of angle from baseline questioning to direct confrontation would normally make an innocent person refute or at least challenge the statement. There would also be a brief pause, as they would need time to process the allegation due to its perplexity. A guilty individual would already be in a defensive state of mind and would normally respond in a hastily modus. Instead of refuting the remark, they would accept it, but try and explain its actuality in a defensive manner.
But it sounds like Nicole was more worried. Yeah, because, like, most of, like, if she doesn't text me, like, I understand that. Like, sometimes that happens.
Okay.
But for her not to get back to her direct sales group, that was very unorthodox.
Okay.
That's so crazy. So, I know me personally, if somebody tell me, like the gentleman said, somebody tells me, oh, you know, they was more worried than you, you would say, what you mean? What you trying to say? What you mean by that? Like, now I feel like I'm under attack. But Chris, his dumb door self, he sits up there, well, if my wife doesn't contact me, you know, I kind of get it, you know. But if she doesn't contact her friend, oh my gosh, just send out the news crew. First off, that don't even sound right. So if your wife don't even contact you, he's just fine, cool with it. It just shows his disconnect.
So then they're at home. Police officers there. Then walk me through that.
So as we go through the house, we're all.
Do you immediately go through the house?
Oh, like I open the garage door and I just go into the house and I'm looking. Like I just go in the garage door and I'm looking.
Is the police officer saying, "Hey, let me talk to you for a minute"?
No.
No. Okay. What's the vibe like?
I go up there, shake his hand, but I'm like opening the garage door at the same time.
Okay.
And then I go through, and then they're waiting at the front door. I go in, open that up.
He mentioned him going to that car, which leads me to believe for this detective wants to know pretty much step by step what he did. Him and the officer must have discussed how weird that was, that when he opened up that garage door, he goes and look in that car for a good few seconds.
They come in.
Oh, so they didn't go in the garage door with you? Okay.
Well, they went in the garage. They didn't come in the way I did.
All right.
Exactly, because he shut the garage door behind him. When Chris went through that garage, he didn't open that garage door for them to come through. He went in that garage, shut that door, went into that house for over a minute doing only God's knowing what, and then he opened the front door for them. They know that that's weird.
And then everybody goes in.
I think that was and at 4 o'clock, that's when because the officer, I went over to the neighbor's house to see if he saw anything, and
Whose idea was that?
I think it was the officer, because he just
Exactly. It's like the detective knows what's up. He said, whose idea was that? Because you would think as a concerned husband, it would have been Chris's idea, but it wasn't. It was somebody else's idea to try to be like, okay, what could we do next? What could we do next? And it's crazy to me. I'm noticing he keeps looking at the paper. This literally, they went missing yesterday. Listen, I can tell you what I did yesterday. I don't need a piece of paper to go back and look at. I'm noticing Chris is looking at a paper and he's saying, yeah, then I did this at 4 o'clock. No, you should kind of already know this, Playboy. What you looking at the paper for? He's trying to make sure his lies straight. I think that's what he's looking at, because he's looking at the paper and he's saying, yeah, I did this. I'm thinking that's what's on that paper.
And then that's when the neighbor called him back over to show him he had some stuff from the other night.
Okay.
Just show him like whatever he had that put motion on it.
Okay. 4 p.m. Police check neighbor security footage.
Okay.
And question them as well. Okay. Have we talked about that? Is that where we're at? Anything else about that?
No, I mean, it just shows Nicole dropping her off, but her not walking up, and it shows me loading my truck up about the time I told you I left.
Okay. Can we talk about something that's kind of hard to talk about?
Let's do it. Now dress yourself.
So when I work investigations like this, I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind.
I like how the detective is so nice. He's so calm, and he just took that little... I like that. I don't know if y'all noticed that. I'm going to rewind that. I like to keep an open... Pardon me. I like to keep an open mind.
It's like this. I have to keep an open mind on everything. Okay. And part of keeping an open mind is listening to you talk about your wife and your marriage. And the day she goes missing is the day that you guys have marital discord. Okay? So you can understand what I'm thinking about you.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
Makes me sick to my stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I talk.
He asked him, what do you think about that? And let me read that print for y'all. He's asking him, he's putting the question on him. What do you think about that? It say the plurium interrogationum. Listen, I'm not the best reader, okay? Correct me. I don't know. And it's implication in the form of a question. And so he's asking him, what do you think about that? Just to see what he's going to say. Let's see what he says.
My stomach, honestly. Like, I know, like, I've talked to a few of my friends, is like, you know, this does not look good on you. I'm like, I know. It's like, if people knew that we were having marital issues, they're going to look at me. Especially with the way everything looks. It honestly just makes me sick to my stomach because...
It's crazy to me. Me like an honest person, and if everything happened the way Chris said, I would be like, man, I know I feel so bad that, you know, I caused this for her to run away, for her to leave and take the kids. I should have just waited. We didn't have to talk about it. That separation was not that important. That's what I would say. But he's saying, oh, I talked to my friends and they said it doesn't look good on you. You know, I know what this looks like. It's like, what?
This is something that I would never do.
He said it makes him sick to his stomach because it's something that he would never do. This detective needs to ask him, what do you mean something you would never do? What has been done? Because what do you mean this is something I would never do? What do you mean?
I know, like, you have to look at every vantage point. This is something I would never do to my kids or my wife. At all.
This is what is known as the pause technique. After the suspect answers a question, the interrogator will remain silent while maintaining eye contact. This physical demeanor gives off the subtle cue that he expects more information to be divulged and may already know more than the suspect realizes.
I'm not sure, like,
And he goes,
what I could do to make people believe that, just because if they knew we were having marital discord, they would automatically look at me. But there's no, I would harm anybody in my family.
Why do you think they're harmed? Why did you say you wouldn't harm anybody? Nobody even talking about that. They're just missing at this point because she's mad and she left, right? He's just blabbing, but he's such a quiet guy, but he got an answer for everything.
I know we were having marital discord, and we had that conversation that morning, and then she goes, and we have no idea where she is, or the kids. I promise you that I had nothing to do with any of that.
I promise you guys, I had nothing to do with any of that. Nothing to do with it, right? Nothing to do with it. Even though, my thing is, if everything happened the way you said it, and you're waking your wife up at 2-3 o'clock in the morning to discuss marital issues, and she does leave and take the kids, you feel like you had nothing to do with it. Nothing. That's how you know. It's like, what you talking about? The officer is really being quiet and looking at Chris. And Chris, who is this quote unquote quiet guy with nothing to say, he's so nervous. He whatever he thinks he needs to say, he's saying it.
Are you telling me the truth? I'm telling you the absolute truth. Why should I believe you?
A truthful individual will normally respond to this question with a question, such as, why are you asking me that? Or, what's going on here? They will often protest the aggressive nature of the inquisition, or give a short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know...
Uh-oh, the length of response, they have a clock. So this response must be mighty long. So this man just said, why should I believe you? Let's see what he say. I'm going to rewind it a little.
Short and forceful response.
Because I'm a very trustworthy person, and the people that do know me, they know how I'm a calm person. I am not an argumentative person. I am a person who is...
That's not what Neighbor Nate said, baby. Neighbor Nate said, you gets crazy.
That's never going to be abusive or physical in any kind of relationship. I would never harm my kids. I would never harm my wife. I mean, you can talk to any of my friends, any of her friends. They know me. They know I'm a low-key...
Only because you were hiding it so well, you were acting, and you were pretending. But Chris plays the game, and he's been playing that game since he known Shanann. Ask any of my friends. Ask any of her friends. I'm a low-key guy. They know me. They thought they knew you.
That's quiet. So I'm not about confrontation. I'm not about anything that elevates to that level.
Well, you damn sure about cheating, and I'm sure that officer knows this at that point. He knows you about cheating.
I mean, like, if someone yells at me, screams at me, I just take it, and I just try to get it by the wayside and get it back to where it's just a cool conversation to where, like, none of that gets to that height, because I am not that person. I've never been that person.
Would you take a polygraph?
Mm.
Sure. Okay. Let's take a little break. I'm going to come back in here because I have a lot more questions for you. How you feeling?
Looking at that picture,
Pictures of his kids.
find them.
Gotta find them. Chris so used to pretending. Gotta find them. Look at you. He said, "I gotta find them." Then he looked at the police just to see what the detective is doing. Chris probably looking at him for his approval to see if he's buying it.
Celeste.
Here we go.
She's Rampage. She's always the one that's gung-ho. She's always the one that's just like, she's off. She's either go or sleep. She's always the one growling. She's a tiger. Bella, she's the calm, the mothering one. She's the one that's always, you okay? You okay? Fine? Okay. She's just the sweetest little girl. She's the one that favors me more, and Celeste is the one that favors Shanann more.
He got some nerve. So Celeste is the gun ho. She's either asleep or she's running around. And then Bella, she's like you, nice, calm, and mothering, nurturing. Nothing's nurturing about you, Chris, especially after what everybody found out. But that's just crazy how Celeste is the ooh, and Bella's the oh so calm. And for him to even do what he did is crazy to me. This mean crazy.
I remember when they wore that dress. She just wore that dress not too long ago.
Wow.
I unbuttoned the back of it so I could get her pajamas on. She's like, no, Daddy, button. I got button.
That is so crazy how he's really trying to sell this. I unbuttoned the back of her dress so she can get her pajamas on. His brain needs to be studied.
I fell in love with those spaghetti strap dresses. She likes long dresses. She was a girly girl.
She was a girly girl. See, now he's speaking about her in past tense. And I'm sure that detective paid attention to that. She was the girly girl. Chris think he's so smart, he's stupid. Wow, and that is the end of part 1, y'all. That's crazy. I hope whoever's not familiar with this case, I hope that part 1 helped them. Like I said, I believe it's 3 or 4 parts, so I will be doing all the parts. So we got 2 more parts to go. I like how they broke that up. I think the next part, they're still going to be in the interrogation room, and then they're going to do the lie detection test. But I can't wait to see that part. So please do not forget, y'all, to like this video, subscribe to the channel. If you guys want to see me cover any Pacific content, leave that down below in the comments, or my contact information is in the description. Reach me by DM or email. Until next time, y'all, stay out of trouble, okay? And remember, pour me some wine, because I'm watching True Crime.